This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And if you're going to be planning a trip to Walt Disney World soon, you're saying, I got to book it soon because, it's already March and I'm looking forward to that trip. Maybe it's Food and Wine. Maybe it's Star Wars weekends. Maybe it's reunion. Regardless of when your trip is, you should get out along to booking that. And you know what? MEI and Mouse Fan Travel can help you book that 2010 trip or trips, depending on if you're that lucky. Give them a call go online, in fact, to www.mousefantravel.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
Wednesday, March 17th, 2010, and this is episode 695 of WDW Today. Matt Hochberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Len Testa, co-author of The Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. Welcome, Len.
How's it going, Matt?
Outstanding. And joining us also on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Welcome, Mike.
Wouldn't it be Matto Hochberg now today?
I didn't realize Caribbean Newell was here with us.
It is St. Patrick's Day, you know.
Oh, it's St. Patrick's Day. Sorry, I forgot. Irish Newell sounds a lot like Caribbean Newell.
That's right, man.
Also joining us on today's show is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for allears.net. Welcome, Mike.
The ovens don't clean themselves,
The
Norway again?
Norwegian Carousel of Progress?
That's right, sticking with the Norwegian theme.
Wednesday, we're answering your listener questions, and we'll start with an email from Hale from Greenwich, Connecticut. Hey, Matt, Mike, Men, and Manette. No offense, just keeping the alliteration. The Olympic high that everyone's been riding recently had me wondering if Epcot's World Showcase does anything special in the Olympic Games host country. Does the Italy Pavilion have anything up for the games going on right now in Torino? Will Epcot do anything in China or Canada for the next Olympics?
Not that I know of.
No.
There was nothing in the Canadian Pavilion in February.
No, I don't recall seeing anything in terms of prep or souvenirs or anything like that. No. Although France does stuff for like Bastille Day. I think on like each nation's Independence Day or whatever, you will see something occasionally, but not for the Olympics.
No. Next email is from Patrick from Grand Haven, Michigan. Writes, I've been playing around with Google Earth and have now virtually visited Walt Disney World, Disneyland, and other places using both the 3D rendering of the parks, the pictures, and links in the application, and also the Street View 360 viewer on the roads on Disney. Very cool. I was wondering if there are any other software or interactive websites you guys use or know to get that Disney World fix when you're not there. Thanks. Love the show. Your podcast is part of the fix.
Awesome.
Is he thinking of? Did he say webcams?
He didn't mention them, but I mean, do you know any, Mike?
Isn't there one? Oh man, I thought there was
for
one.
Like the Beach Club or something.
Yeah, right. It's somewhere near
there's the Weather Channel one or whatever. It's not a Weather Channel, but it's like a weather thing. And you can see the Spaceship Earth, right? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that one. Noel, what's the name of that website that has the people set up their webcams on their vacations?
Oh, that would be eyesonears.com.
Awesome.
Right. Check that out.
And what are they? What kind of webcams? What do they do? What do they show?
Well, I mean, regular guests go and they set up their laptops and usually point out the window of the selected resorts, which is kind of neat.
The window, classic.
Yeah, so like my favorite are the ones at the Polynesian. Somebody will get a nice Magic Kingdom view and stick the webcam out the window, and it's really, really cool to watch.
Years ago, there was a camera that was mounted on the flagpole in Town Square in the Magic Kingdom, and I can remember friends would go down and say, "Oh, I'm going to be in front of the flagpole at 2:00 Thursday afternoon. Look for me." And I'd go on the webcam and I'd see them. But that was taken out a long time ago.
Yeah, that was like after 9/11 they got rid of those.
Yeah.
I'll also mention friends of mine, Eric and Dan run MouseGuest.com. They have this interactive game. I don't know if it's a game. I don't know what you call it, but it's a thing you go online and you can go like visit the parks. It's hard to explain. You have to go check it out, but it's kind of like a virtual walk through the parks, if you will. And that's MouseGuest.com. But and of course you always have Mouse World Radio. Duh.
Yeah. You know what I found? You know what I found in a box in storage the other day was the WDW Explorer. Anybody remember that CD-ROM?
Oh, God, I
Yes.
love that.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually put it in, installed it, and played with it. It's dated to like 99, so it's only current as to 99. But what a fun trip
Yeah.
I had to play with that thing.
I remember exploring the CD and grabbing all of the audio off of it, and then there was a pattern. So for our listeners who don't know what it was essentially one of the first multimedia apps that Disney put out, and it allowed you to go around each of the parks, then each of the lands, then each of the attractions, and you'd click on the icon for the attraction, and it'd show you a couple of photos from the attraction, and then it would give you sound clips.
Yep.
And it was Corey Burton. Is that the guy that the announcer?
Yeah, I think that might have been him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Corey Burton would do the audio, would tell you something about the attraction, and then there'd be questions. There was like a quiz game associated with it, and occasionally there'd be extra long clips, like there'd be like 1 or 2 minutes of background audio from the land. And if I recall correctly, there was a hidden Mickey game?
There certainly was.
It was a game that unlocked a bonus video of Walt, and it's almost like the intro to One Man's Dream. It's like that, and it was fascinating. Anyway, so I explored through the CD itself and got all of the audio and movie files from everything, and then filtered out all the stuff that was like the questions and everything, and just played that back on a loop over and over again. It was awesome. Loved it. There were rumors that they did a second version of it right when Animal Kingdom opened.
Yeah.
They did. That's the one I have. That's the latest one. It was I think it was just called version 2 or something.
Yeah, it was version 2 or something like that. But it was I still have all the audio files as part of my audio collection.
Yeah, second edition, Walt Disney World Explorer second edition, put out by Disney Interactive, 1999.
Those were the days. They were thinking. I mean, it was a clever idea.
Oh, absolutely.
Next email is from Michael Grabenstein, who writes, in regards to the PhotoPass CD, the CD you get is not limited to one CD. You get all the photos on the site. $99 allows you to upload your own photos. You may apply the specialty borders to all. Modifying a photo gets you the modified and original on the, quote, CD. So thank you, Mike, for that information there. Next email is from Nathan, who writes, hi, Matt, Mike, Len, and the Fabulous Annette, and or any guest host today. Thanks for the wonderful podcast. It helps me stay connected to the magic while I live and teach English thousands of miles away from the world. He's Nathan from Tokyo, Japan, I should say. So I'm at Tokyo Disney. I'm a Tokyo Disney annual pass holder, and it's a wonderful resort. Every Disney fan who can swing the cost should definitely check out the two great parks here, but nothing compares to the magic of Disney in Florida. Anyway, on to my question. My wife and I will be in the world in October for 8 days. We'll be using 5-day Magic Your Way tickets with the water park fun and more option. My question is this: can we use the pass at the water park before visiting a theme park? My wife and I want to go to Typhoon Lagoon on the afternoon we arrive, and we have our first theme park visit for the next day. Is that going to be a problem? Does the pass have to be activated at a theme park before it can be used at a water park?
It used to be that way. I'm not sure if it's still that way.
I don't think so. I mean, you can often was the case, people have, the water park fun and more option, and they use their park days before they'll use their water park days left. And they're kind of independent of each other, if that makes sense.
I think the reason why I thought that you had to use the park first was because that's when the clock started on the ticket, on the expiration part of the ticket. I thought that was why you had to use a park. You had to use a park admission first. But again, I'm not sure if that's the way it is now. I know that's the way it was as recently as 3 or 4 years ago. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think you can do either, but yeah, I think it does. I mean, the park or the ticket time definitely starts the first park you visit, regardless of whether it's a theme park or a water park.
Right. Next email is from Tim from Quincy, Massachusetts, who writes, I've all caught up. It just took me 10 to 11 months to listen to every episode and live show. I'm writing my follow-up. Haven't yet heard my original email in hopes that you can help me with a more serious question. I'm trying to plan a trip to Tokyo Disney for myself and my girlfriend. The most expensive aspect seems like it's going to be the hotel room, seemingly starting at 28,000 yen or approximately $300.
Yep.
I know that the hotels like the Sheraton aren't Disney operated, but are apparently on the monorail line. We're looking for the best way to get cheap accommodations in Tokyo. You guys have any advice?
There's a whole ring of hotels around Tokyo Disney themselves, and they're relatively inexpensive. I would say check out those. I don't have the names of them, but something like TripAdvisor or Expedia will find them for you.
Absolutely. We should mention, of course, our sponsor of today's show, Tim, as you know, is MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, and they can help you book trips to any of the Disney theme parks, be it in Tokyo or in Walt Disney World. So they'll have people who've been there many times, and they can help you with that. So check that out.
So I've looked at doing Tokyo Disney hotels. It really matters how much the dollar fluctuates against the yen, because the last time I checked, which admittedly was now a couple months ago, the least expensive hotel room was in the neighborhood of $400 a night. So if it's $300 a night now, that's a pretty good deal. I don't know if Disney's reset their rates against the yen, or the dollar's appreciated a bit more. But that's definitely good news.
Cool. Next email is from Marjorie of New York. Writes, I'm planning a vacation for the spring of 2010, and there will be 2 adults and 2 children. We planned a 6 or 7 day vacation, but it has recently been knocked down to a 4 or 5 day. How can I go to the parks plus do Downtown Disney, Sports Complex, Boardwalk, and golf all in a short time period?
It was the 4 parks. What were the other things?
Downtown Disney, Sports Complex, Boardwalk, and golf.
Is that miniature golf or 18 rounds? Because that's 18 rounds of golf is. I mean, the way I play, it's like 8 hours. I don't know. I don't know how.
I'm assuming it's regular golf, but I mean that's gonna be pretty adventurous for 4 or 5 days. But I mean, Downtown Disney, the Boardwalk can be done in the evenings. I mean, go on the days that you're going to either the studios or Animal Kingdom. Also, park hopping is definitely going to be something Marjorie's definitely going to need, right, Scopa?
That's correct.
Yeah, I mean, I think
park hopping. Yeah, it's just
so that way
that's not a lot of time to spend in the Magic Kingdom or Epcot though.
Yeah.
So there is that. Yeah. Okay.
Might be a bit of reach to try to do all that, especially like Len mentioned the golf. But it's not going anywhere. You can always come back. So prioritize what's the most important to you and see what you can work in. Next email is from Tom Wretch of Minnesota, who's known as T-Rex3 on WDWtoday.com.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Right. So did you guys ever think of keeping count on how many times Matt says, quote, over there in a show? Or in a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday shows combined? Maybe that isn't something you guys ever noticed, but I picked up on it a few months ago, and he says over there a lot. It makes me laugh every time he says it, just because he says it so much. I'm sure it's one of those things that he doesn't even think about. Not trying to rip on you, Matt, but kind of the way that some people say like all the time,
Over there.
Do I say that a lot?
Yes, you
I
do.
say over?
Yes, you do.
I do? Didn't even pay attention to it. Huh. Interesting. Good. In other news, Newell, I think we have to update our ban list of emails.
Yes.
I've got a few to add. Next email is just kidding.
That'll be added to the wiki now, so we have something new at the wiki today.
Next email is from someone who didn't leave their name. Got to leave your name and town where you're from. Right. So do the Valley Resorts check your luggage for a flight home like the moderate resorts do?
Yeah.
If using Magical Express, yeah.
Yeah, Magical Express. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Next email is from Karen and Rich Peter of Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. Karen and Rich write, good day, ladies and gentlemen. We greet you this way in case you have one or more special guests joining you. As a Canadian, regular trips to the world are not feasible budget-wise, so they are rare, but also special trips we are able to take involve a lot of research and pre-planning. Since you're very helpful with us in the past, we were lucky enough to have a question answered for our last trip in December 2007. Here we go again. We're considering treating ourselves to the afternoon tea at the Grand Floridian. Of course, All Ears is the resource for menu and pricing options, but what about the other details, for example, like dress code? Is there one beyond the Disney preferred shorts and t-shirt? Do you have any tips or perhaps an alternative to this event? Appreciate your help, and thanks for including us loyal listeners from the north of the 49th.
I don't know if there's a real dress code, but I think that the preferred dress code, if you want to call it one, would be, nice casual. That means not cut off shorts or a t-shirt,
Tank
maybe
top.
a nice polo shirt, maybe.
I think they call it resort casual, right?
Resort casual, yeah.
And you don't. I don't think you'd want to go in the same clothes that you went to a theme park in earlier in the day.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that the exception of Victoria and Albert's, that's formal, no?
Yeah, jacket required for men. Dresses are suitable attire for women.
Does Citricos require that? No, or Narcoossee's? No.
No, I don't think so.
No, they just have some of them like those, Mike, have they're just like, you can't wear basically ripped jeans or things like that or bathing suits into the restaurant.
Right.
Yeah, cool.
Next email is from Will Saxon of Houston, Texas. He writes, so my 5-year-old daughter and I were at the Magic Kingdom in mid-August. I noticed on our first ride through Small World that the kid on the surfboard in the Polynesian scene had gone missing. At first I thought maybe I had just missed him, but on our second time around, I noticed he was definitely gone, replaced by another flying fish. What happened to him? Where did he go? Did he have a wipeout and decided to go with his 2 younger brothers to return the Tiki Idol to Vincent Price in one of those caves on Tom Sawyer's Island? It's a Brady Bunch reference.
I think his visa expired.
That's awesome.
Oh, well, by the time you get into answering this question, he'll probably be returned, resurfaced as an adult pounding papyrus in the Egyptian scene on Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
That's very funny. I know what he's talking about. Have you guys? I've been on Small World in a little bit, but have you noticed that he's been missing, this surfer dude?
But the referral to Spaceship Earth has got me thinking about something. I want to throw it out to you guys. What's the deal with the paper boy with his back to the?
Yes, thank you.
He's supposed to be it looks bad, and I totally agree with you. It's supposed to be that the wall that he's facing is like a silhouette, like it looks like it's going down. It's a street.
You're right about that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be him facing the street, but it really looks like he's facing the wall because it's not very well done effect.
And the wall's not lit, so you have to really look to see that it is a street.
Yeah, it's like one of those like Roadrunner Wile E. cartoons where they put like the black thing on the wall, and it's like supposed to be like you keep going. Yeah. It's supposed to be a street, but it looks like he's facing the wall. You're right. Mm-hmm. But I remember the surfer guy. That's the guy who's like standing on 1 foot on the surfboard, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes they take things away. Like you remember in Pirates of the Caribbean, he's been gone for a while. That guy who's in the boat with the hats.
Yeah, stepping off of the.
He's gone
off the dock. He's been gone.
Yeah, his
hats have been gone.
Oh, the hats have been gone.
But then I just saw on as of today, actually on www.magic.com, I saw someone said that he's back. The hats are back. He's always been there. His hats are gone.
Maybe the hats needed to be cleaned.
Next email is from
Hats Entertainment.
Oh God, Donna Sims of South Carolina writes, more than one time I've heard you all comment on the food courts at Riverside as being nice, but then there's always a side comment where one of you guys says the French Quarter food court is small. It is true that French Quarter food court is small, but sometimes my family will visit there even when not staying at French Quarter. Why? The chicken club wrap, the muffalata, the seasoned chips that come with both, and most importantly, the oh my God, I can say it. Beignets. Thank you.
You can say it in your head, but you can't repeat what you hear in your head. Is that what you're saying?
Something like.
Yes.
I mean, we always are kind of harsh on the moderate resort counter service restaurants because they're kind of, especially at the Port Orleans resorts. But I think you have to go see go to Caribbean Beach, and I think they do the best job of the moderate resorts in terms of offering counter service because that is like they have a lot of different options, and that really stood out to me as a definite plus. And then when you go to Port Orleans French Quarter, and it just feels so much more limited. I think that's the issue.
Yeah,
I like Coronado Springs' food court. I know a lot of people don't, but I don't know if I've got used to it or what. But I like it.
You mean the Pepper Market or the other thing that the other one there?
Yeah, the Pepper Market. Yeah.
Next email is from Dave from Connecticut. Writes, I'm somewhat of a new listener. I listened back in the early days, and due to the lack of Disney vacations, I kind of left the world about the world. But came back about 2 months ago. I'm also a first-time emailer. I was listening to episode 606, and there was a couple of questions you guys were stumbled on, and I thought I would tag in on those. First, Philippe from Netherlands asked about Disney chat places. I know your good old friend Lou Mangello's site, www.radio.com, has a chat running 24/7. However, most people are in there on chat nights, which is every Tuesday and Thursday. Also, John from Virginia asked about those Dyson hand dryers. I'd seen a few times before, and once on Disney property. There's a little resort called Shades of Green in the main lobby bathroom. Other than that, I have yet to see these anywhere on property and nowhere in the Disney, quote, ran bathrooms. Thank you, Dave, for the information. Next email is from Brad Wood of Donors Grove, Illinois, who's known as BuzzWoody70 at WDWToday.com. Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Right. I just listened to your recent show about the top 3 and bottom 3 things to do at Downtown Disney. I cannot believe that most of you voted the T-Rex as one of their bottom 3 places to visit. I have to totally disagree. We just visited this past June and made this one of our stops. We were traveling with 2 17-year-olds and 1 11-year-old. This was their favorite dining spot as well as the 2 adults. It is loud, yes, but so is Beer Garden. It is expensive, yes, but where isn't it at Disney? Is the food
Trails
mediocre?
End.
Yes, but so are a good portion of all Disney restaurants. Here's the thing. So far as atmosphere, you can't beat it. It's truly unique. Don't be so critical. I could not disagree with you more. Is it loud? Yeah, a lot of restaurants at Disney World are loud, but you got to keep it in perspective here. This was the loudest restaurant I've ever been in my life. Between the meteor showers that happen every 10 minutes and the general loudness of the area. Can you guys think of any restaurant that you'd say is louder than T-Rex?
Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah.
Which is in essence a copy of it.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
It's very close.
Yeah.
The expensive, it's way more expensive than any other restaurant.
I think what you want to say, Matt, is it's more expensive than it should be.
Yes. Yeah, no, you're right, Mike. I mean, you can go to like, what's the restaurant? Yachtsman Steakhouse, right? Or Victoria and Albert's. And these are restaurants that are very expensive, but I think you get your money's worth most of the time from there. Here, you're paying, $20, $30 for a pasta dish. And I'll tell you one thing, it's definitely not being cooked by Italians in the kitchen. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm not a...
And
I've heard the food. I've heard the food's better there than Rainforest Cafe, but
that's like saying
the bar a little bit low.
Well, and that's like saying it only rains sometimes in Seattle.
Relatively speaking.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and the food is mediocre, as in it's terrible. It's not. It's just. It's so. This is why I don't like it. All those reasons, and I understand. We need to have a show about this, about the benefits of atmosphere over food, and we'll do that at some point. But this restaurant, along with the Rainforest Cafe, which is owned by the same company, by the way, is terrible and one of the worst restaurants at Disney property, in my opinion.
I think that it also depends upon the profile of the vacation. If you have a family with kids,
small kids, yeah,
preteens, I think it's probably a good place to visit.
I think you can name. Wouldn't you be able to name probably 2-3 other restaurants you'd rather take your kids to, and they would equally have a good time over there?
Yeah, but the thing is, Matt, that if they've never been to anything like this, there are a lot of people who don't live near rainforest cafes. And I can remember I looked forward to going down there because I didn't have one. Now I've got like 2 of them within like 30 minutes of me. So, and not to mention about 5. What's the name of that restaurant that I used to go down? There's 5 of them in Orlando. Now they're all over the place. Italian restaurant chain. But the thing is that if it's a novelty, then it's worth. It's like when we talk about people want to know if we want to send them to the parties, not so scary and very merry, and we always say it's worth trying once. So depending upon if you have teenagers, or if you're a young couple or empty nesters, I would agree. Don't waste your money and don't waste your time going to it.
Okay, well, we'll have to agree to disagree.
Right.
Next email is from Crystal from Seattle, Washington. All right, so I'm planning my 2-week-long trip in December, looking to wander off property for a couple of days and visit the U-Parks. I'm going through my copy of the unofficial guidebook and the touring plan site, wondering if there's a crowd calendar of sorts for the Universal theme parks like there are for Walt Disney World, or if you have any recommendations for days that are better than others. That way I can work around the Walt Disney World parks. Renting a car, so transportation is not an issue. Had hard to plan 3 plus months in advance just because of the dining plan, but kind of have to. The only thing I am not looking forward to, the flight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long flight. So regarding the crowd calendar for Universal, we don't have one explicitly on there, but if you go to our blog and use the search feature and type in Universal Best Days, you'll see a blog post that we did that describes the best days to visit all of the Universal theme parks and Disney's water parks. It's dated September 3rd, 2007, so it's a couple years old, but still relevant. I say it's a lot like it's very similar to the Magic Kingdom. So Universal, the best days are Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, and the worst are Monday, Sunday, and Thursday. For IOA, the best are Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. The worst are Thursday, Sunday, and Wednesday. Sunday. That's nice. Oh, Lord.
Good. Well, it's time for our last question, and that means I'm going to give Mr. Newell 3 emails to choose from. One gets read today. The other 2 go back into the email queue to be answered sooner or later. Ready, Mike?
Yep, let's go.
All right, your options are my Scopa old in quotes, grandparents and Tampa. I still have a little room left in my esophagus, and 2 things that drive me nuts.
Oh, I like that. Let's go 2 things that drive me nuts for 100, Alex.
Nice.
Last email today is from Jennifer from San Diego, who writes, before I vent, let me say that I love the show and am a faithful listener. There are 2 things that you constantly tell people that drives me nuts.
Oh, wait, it's a complaint letter? I didn't want to pick that.
Oh, it's more fun this way. First is your advice on Fantasmic. I know Matt is the studio's guru, but he's wrong on this one. Last August, late August, after the East Coast kids were back in school, we went to Hollywood Studios. We had a terrific day, had dinner at the Brown Derby, which I wouldn't have thought of if you guys hadn't recommended it, and set out to see Fantasmic. We did not do the dining package since you had bag on it so regularly. It was well over an hour before showtime, but they already had people along Sunset Boulevard announcing that it was standing room only. By the time we got to the entrance, the theater was full, and they weren't admitting people, so we did not get to see the show. You might want to rethink how you strongly urge against the dinner package, because I would have gladly taken a so-so seat over no seat. This year, we're booking the package to be sure we don't miss out. Our response to this would be, this is me talking now, one, I don't think she mentioned in the email how long before she showed up. When I say don't take the dinner packages, you don't need it. I'm not saying you can show up 30 minutes beforehand either. You still need to show up quite a bit ahead of time. I would say, depending on the crowd calendar, I mean, it's anywhere from, probably for the first show, at least 60 minutes ahead of time. And you should always see the second show. Usually there's 2 shows a night, but right. If definitely see the second show. It's much easier to get into. You'll wait a lot less time. So, Jennifer, I'm not sure I don't know how long beforehand you had gone to see there, but, keep in mind, even with the dinner package, you still have to show up at least 30 minutes ahead of time. That's the bare minimum. So most people, are not going to cut it that close. You'll show up, 40 minutes, 45 minutes? So I'm asking for another 10, 15 minutes, and you'll get much better seats. Jennifer writes, also, the second thing is your analysis of the PhotoPass CD. I'm not saying everyone should buy the CD. That's just that your analysis is faulty. You're constantly comparing the cost of a print to the cost of one that you take with your own camera. As a former professional photographer, that point of view drives me crazy. The skill and training of the photographer has value. It's true they'll snap with your own camera, but chances are it won't be the same, especially in evening shot where you really benefit from the tripod and slow shutter speed. Now, I agree that not all of the photographers are equally talented, and that for many people, the cost of the CD is prohibitive. But here is the fair way to look at the price. If you were to buy a PhotoPass photo, either in the park or online, it would cost you about $10 minimum. If there are going to be at least 10 shots that you want to purchase, you could pre-order the CD for $100, and all the extra photos are a bonus. Then you load up the pictures to Snapfish or somewhere similar, and buy all the prints that you want dirt cheap. Since I always buy the CD, I grab the PhotoPass person I see to be sure I get the shots that are important. For example, we like to have a really nice family photo in front of the castle, so I've been known to hit 3 or 4 photographers in a row to be sure we get a good one. A bonus, when you buy the CD, is that you buy the rights to the images, so you can use the PhotoPass shot for our holiday card for a fraction of the cost of buying the cards from Disney. Sorry for the rant. Whew, I feel better.
Yeah, can I make a comment on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the things that has always been a concern, an issue with me with the PhotoPass is that the number one, and she does mention it, I don't know if the people who are wearing the PhotoPass outfits, costumes, and who are doing it are talented photographers. I'm assuming that they have some they've got lots of experience and they know how to take a real great picture, and that's the assumption. We don't know that, so that's a question. But the thing that really convinces me that it's not really worth it is that we don't see these people all around the theme parks. We see them in front of Spaceship Earth. We see them when you're walking through the turnstiles. We see them on Main Street USA. We'll see them just before Discovery Island in the Animal Kingdom. But you don't see them at every single portion of the parks to take those photos that you may want in front of the Carousel of Progress, or that you would like to take in front of Expedition Everest. And I think that if they were wandering around the parks as much as I would like to see them, then I'd say, you're going to get more photos, more interesting photos, and it will be worth it. But until I see that, I'm not sure if I'm ever going to really think that CD is worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I think she brings up some fair points. I think one thing I agree with you, Mike, is that I think she overstates, in all fairness, I think she overstates the talent level of the photographers. They range from good to miserable, and it can vary very much in between there. I mean, let's put it this way. They're not exactly getting National Geographic photographers. That's not where Disney's hiring from. So the quality can range greatly, and the fact that she has to go use multiple photographers for the same location is indicative of that point. You shouldn't have to do that, especially for the price you're paying.
Yeah, and the argument could also be made, well, gee, if I have this type of service available, then I don't have to bring my camera. But there are many people who probably have said that, and they have said, gee, I wish I had brought my camera because I wanted to take a photo of the castle at night. I wanted to take a photo of this, not necessarily with me or my family members in the photo, but I wanted to take a picture of Spaceship Earth at night or something like that. So I think that argument also is not really valid.
Absolutely. Well, Newell, great picking a nice happy email to end us with.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
Well, don't forget that this episode of WDW Today has been sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And guess what, Mike?
Yes.
Any of you? Yeah. If you book 4 or more nights in a qualifying package by April 30th, 2010 with MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, you're going to get a free 1-year subscription to touringplans.com. You can learn all of Len's secrets, all of them.
Wow, all of them?
All
Len.
Wink, wink.
Nice.
What are those wait times, Len?
And special Testa family photos.
But yeah, seriously, you get a free 1-year subscription to touringplans.com, which of course is the site of the unofficial guide. And all you got to do is you're going to book that trip you're already going to book to Walt Disney World. It's going to be the same cost. In fact, it might even be cheaper. And you're going to get a free. So this way, you get a free 1-year subscription. That's right. Check them out online at www.mousefantravel.com for more information. If you'd like to find our older episodes, read our show notes, visit the WDW Today website at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, and Mike Newell, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.